back to another video. Today's video is going to be focused on how to make 2023 the best year yet for you, and I'm going to go over how I goal plan, journal, manifest, do my vision boards, all of that stuff, how I declutter, books, podcasts, everything. I'm going to share my tips and advice on things that work for me, and maybe it will inspire you or help you out in some way and you can incorporate it into your everyday life as well. But let's get into it. It's actually in the middle of the day right now. It is almost 2 p.m. So I always like to have coffee with me. I don't know, I have this relationship with coffee, and I don't drink too much coffee. I'll have like 1 cup a day, like a normal amount, sometimes 2 depending on what I'm doing, or if I'm out and want to get coffee. For me, it's more of like an experience. I always say focus and do things that make you happy. Be realistic, be grounded in your perspective of what makes you happy. But little things like this, like having my morning coffee, or throughout the day, if I'm walking around with my dog and I'm passing a cute coffee shop, I want to get my favorite drink, I will, because it just makes me feel good. And I think the more things that we incorporate into our daily lifestyle that makes us just feel good, no matter how big or small, it really makes an impact. And I think it helps your perspective and your mentality to be much more positive, which is crucial and essential, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. So this is me having my morning coffee. Hopefully my hair doesn't look crazy. I tried to do a little bit of a different hairstyle today. Never done this before. Let me know if this is a yay or an A. Also, I'm gonna have everything linked down below like always. And before you guys ask me, my outfit is from my clothing brand. I'm wearing the amber top. I'm gonna have the jewelry linked down below as well. This is sold out. It's been sold out. I got it like years ago. You guys always ask me about this necklace. I'm gonna link similar ones. I've spotted a few similar ones on the internet, so I'm gonna do my best to find you some similar options. But yeah, I'm gonna try and link as much of the jewelry as possible. This oversized button-up shirt is from my brand, and then this tank top as well, which is my favorite. Fits amazing. The jeans are from Etika. They're high-waisted, this like dark blue color. I'm gonna try and link them down below for you guys as well. Time to chat through vision boards. I create mine on Canva, and I go through my Pinterest to get like all the photos, or if there's any specific photos from like my clothing line or something, like something that inspires me or I want to achieve for the year, I will grab it from like my personal photo album or something like that, but most of them are from Pinterest. And yeah, really simple, really straightforward. With the vision board / mood board, I update it a few times throughout the year. I feel like it's important to keep it updated and to like reference it every day, and like not to get bored or let it get stale, if that makes sense. So that's why I say update it. I start with a fresh one in the beginning of the year. I already did mine since we are halfway through January. It's been done. It's, you know, it's a priority for me every year. And like I said, I'll update it throughout the year. I also have it as a screensaver on my phone. That way it's always like in my face every time I look at my phone. But that's also why I say update it, because I find that when you're so used to looking at something, you stop noticing it because it's the same thing you see every day, if that makes sense. So it's important to update stuff. I'll go on Pinterest and I'll search, you know, for example, Los Angeles. If you guys follow me, you know, our goal is to settle down in LA when the time is right. So I'll search through Los Angeles, find my favorite photo. I will click on the 3 dots up here and I'll download the image. And then once it's downloaded, I'll upload it into my Canva and drag and drop and kind of create this beautiful mood board, whatever feels right to you. An important thing to note with mood boards is that you want to set goals for yourself that are attainable. So for example, like you don't want to say something that might not be attainable or realistic. Like you want to have no doubts and fears in your goals that you set for yourself, and it's something that's achievable. If you are maybe like, let's say you have like a newsletter and you want to have like 1 million subscribers to your newsletter, but you don't even have it set up yet, that might be a huge stretch, and you might even self-doubt that. Like no one is saying that it might not be realistic in like a couple years, but you want to set small baby step goals, and then in there kind of incorporate bigger goals. And obviously don't set limits for yourself. Don't be afraid to dream. Anything is possible. I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want. Nothing is out of reach. You just cannot doubt yourself. You have to literally feel like when you're setting these goals, it's only a few months away, if that makes sense. So instead of saying maybe like 1 million newsletter subscribers, you put like 50K or 100K, and then maybe you'll reach that in 6 months and you go back and update your mood board. But you just wanna make it feel like it's not like the end goal, it's more so like the baby steps to get there, because it keeps you more focused and it keeps you more determined and aligned with your goals and the vision you have for yourself. So once you're done, you will go and click on share, download. I usually save it as a PNG, and I do a pretty large size, and I'll download it. And once it's downloaded, I will set it as my desktop background, which we can actually do together. So you right click on the image and you go to set desktop picture, and there you go. One thing I forgot to mention is when you're taking these photos from Pinterest, for example, and like you wanna add your name to things, if that makes sense, if this relates to you. Meaning, like for example, I have my clothing brand. So what I'll do is like, you know, I have like my brand tags here. Okay, look at this. This is a good example, the YouTube plaque. This is the gold one. I have the silver one right over there. This is the gold one. So let's say my goal is to, you know, continue growing my YouTube family. I just put in text, which you could do right here on the left-hand side. You can add text. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Canva, but you can add text and you put your name on the actual YouTube plaque, I think is what it's called. That way it feels even more real, like it feels like it's your own. So pretty much you want to personalize things is what I'm trying to say. Like this is a little clothing store or pop-up it might be, and I put my brand name on the wall in there. So it just feels even more real, and you know, yeah. So that's pretty much the vision board part. Now let's get into journaling, setting goals, writing down our thoughts, all on paper. Let's go. I have my joy journal here, and you know, I make sure to write something down every day. The way this one is set up is you write morning and night, and there's different sections. So it goes, I'm grateful for, how will I follow my joy today, positive reminders to give myself, something to celebrate, my favorite feeling from this week, and today was a joyful day, and you rate it from 1 to 10. So I personally love this because it keeps it focused to the point. You never have an excuse as to why you don't write down something in here, whether it's in the morning or in the evening. The way they have it set up is you journal in the morning and in the evening, which is what I've been doing. But I have to say, writing down your thoughts on a piece of paper, not in your like phone, not anywhere, just writing it down. There's something about writing things down that makes a big difference. And then in the back here, I have my 2023 goals. I write them down in the beginning of the year, and again, update them as I go throughout the year. Keep things fresh, keep them interesting, keep it new, keep it authentic and realistic. So my biggest thing with the goals is you wanna make sure you have numbers. Just like with the vision board, you wanna make sure you personalize it as much to your own life so it feels real. With the goals, you wanna have numbers. So instead of saying I wanna make X amount a year, you fill in that X with an actual number, or a month, or a week, or I want, like whatever your goal is, to travel to X amount of countries, you fill it in with actual number, and even more so, you write down what those countries are, or what those states are, or whatever it is, you know? So depending on what your goals are, if it's I wanna visit my family X amount of times a year, you put in the actual number. The more specific you can be, the better it is. And really, it's all about building habits. If you start journaling every single morning, it becomes a habit. I feel weird if I don't do it. If I'm like, I'm running behind, I'm late, I have to just get up and start going. No, I'll literally, if I'm going to the bathroom, I'll bring my journal and multitask. So there's no excuse. When you build a habit and you're consistent, you will see a huge difference. And I can't tell you how many people I have in my life who started writing down their goals, their thoughts, everything, and it really has made such a positive impact on their life. It's a small, quick daily habit, but it makes a big difference, and I think that's what life is all about. So be consistent and build positive habits. reading. This is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm gonna include some of my favorite books on the screen here, but I think you guys already know, reading something. Doesn't matter if you read for 1 minute a day, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. Reading is just so good. You stimulate your brain, you expand your vocabulary. Your brain and your thoughts kind of become more sharp and clear and aligned. It does something for you that's just really good. And I don't know if there's anything else out there that could do the same. You know, we were meant to read on paper and not so much on our phones. So there's just something really powerful about reading a book, especially something that resonates with you or interests you. So I highly recommend you guys check out some books out there that you might really enjoy and build the habit of reading a little bit every day. I promise you it makes a big difference. I used to not be the biggest book reader. And then, you know, I had a lot of successful mentors and people in my life, and everybody kept saying, read, read, read. So it took me a little bit of time, but I built the habit and the interest, and now you have the craving for it, because there's something about it that's so peaceful, so relaxing. It really just helps bring you back to a very calm state, and you learn how to just focus on this and not what's going on around you. And it's been amazing. I can't say enough good things about reading. It doesn't matter how long you do it, as long as you are reading something and you enjoy it and you're processing it and you're learning. I've always believed that your morning really starts the night before. So the way you go to bed, the way your mentality is really how you're gonna pick everything up in the morning. It's so important to go to bed with a very clear mind, be extremely grateful and thankful no matter what happened that day. We have so much to always be grateful for. Going to bed and falling asleep with a very open, kind heart, a very hopeful mindset, a very excited and motivated, determined mind really makes the biggest difference. You just wake up feeling so much better than if you go to bed upset, holding grudges, pissed off about something that really might not be that important a year from now. So just remind yourself that no matter what that day looked like, go to bed counting your blessings, journaling, writing down what you're thankful for, why and how you feel so lucky and blessed, and allow yourself to really take that in and wake up feeling just amazing and excited and motivated. Another tip is, you know, when you wake up and your feet touch the floor, say to yourself that today will be an amazing day. Tell yourself that you will achieve your goals and you will feel incredible today, and so many doors and opportunities are going to open up for you so that you can get that much closer to your, you know, your goals and your dreams. And just be really, really excited that today might be the most amazing day of your life. Something that has been so important my whole life is spending time in nature. I just have felt so much more alive and happy in my own skin and comfortable. And I remember from a young age that all stemmed from being in nature. I would be so eager to just go for a walk, and to this day I do that almost every single day. There's so many benefits associated with spending time in nature. Feeling more calm, which I definitely can vouch for. Increased endorphin levels and dopamine, which helps promote happiness, helping you concentrate and pay attention to more things, reducing anxiety, depression, irritability. I think it's really important when you are outside, whether it's just spending time on the balcony like I am, going for walks with your pet if you have one, walking to the grocery store, maybe if you're doing a light, you know, grocery run and don't have too many bags to carry, just things like that. You know, I love listening to podcasts when I'm going for walks with the dog or if I'm in the car, but sometimes I like to just have nothing in my ears and listen to the sounds around me and focus on every little detail of what's going on. It honestly makes me so happy looking at the sky or the sun, or hearing the birds chirping, or hearing little insects. Also, I heard this yesterday on a podcast, and this really stuck out to me because I've never heard this before, but it again makes sense. They were saying how throughout your day and throughout your life, you want to drop dopamine into your everyday lifestyle, not drown in it. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of the video. You want to do things every day that make you happy. Incorporate those things into your life. Now, every day, every single moment, and every single hour is not gonna, you know, be filled with things that just bring you utter bliss and joy, but you want to do enough and have majority of your day feel that way That way, at the end of the day, you feel like you had an amazing day, if that makes sense. You know, dopamine is like happiness. So by dropping dopamine in little moments of your life makes you feel so much better than if you have one good, amazing thing that happened for an hour and the rest of your day is just miserable. You know what I mean? Next, we're going to declutter our environment. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I am very, very big, and it's very important to me to have a clean, organized, decluttered home. I do not function in messes. I never have. I swear I came out of the womb and I was a clean freak. I don't know what it is, but it's just ingrained in me. I think it's my mom, because my mom was always very, very clean and would enforce my brother and I to clean up after ourselves, to not leave messes around. Just kind of, I built that habit from a young age, and I have to say, even though growing up you don't realize how helpful it would be as an adult, I'm so thankful now, because it changed my life and it changed how I function in my environment, considering I also work from home. So my home is my work environment as well, and it's so important for it to be functioning and clean and the way I need it to be to feel good, because when I feel good, I do good, I work good. It's all related, right? So next we're going to vacuum and clean up any messes, which I don't have too many going on right now, because like I said, I always clean up after myself, so I don't really create many messes as I go throughout my day. I don't just like throw my clothes. My clothes always go back in the hanger. I've just never been the type of person to leave my clothes out. If I try something on, I put it back on the hanger. I've built this habit and it's just all I know at this point. If I eat food, I put the dishes away in the dishwasher immediately. I don't leave them on the counter or in the sink. If I take out food, I put it back in the fridge. Organizing your home and your space can really benefit your mental health and your processing capabilities, because it requires, you know, your brain to plan and order and sequence and make decisions. It helps you really overcome procrastination. I think it's really important to have a functioning, flowing environment. You want to walk into your home and feel the energy is a 10 out of 10. It makes you feel amazing. The easiest way to do that is just try to minimize the mess you create as you go about your day. You don't want to procrastinate when it comes to keeping your home and your environment organized and decluttered. At the end of the day, a decluttered home is so much better and easier to look after and maintain if you keep things clean as you go. One thing I forgot to mention that I think is really important is, you know, everybody always says you have to find motivation, you have to find, you know, your soulmate, you have to find love, you have to find the perfect career, the perfect home, all this stuff. I think, and I recently heard someone talking about this and it clicked, and I absolutely agree. I think our purpose is not to find these things, it's for us to create them. I think if you're searching for this stuff, you'll never find it. You have to find that clarity and purpose within yourself to go create these things in your life. They won't come to you, you won't just stumble upon it. You have to go seek it and create it. And that's why I say that there's endless opportunities in this life, because you really can create the life you want. I thoroughly enjoy listening to podcasts, and sometimes I'll do it on my walks with my dog, like I mentioned before, in the car when I'm going on a long drive, or even a short drive just to the grocery store. I try to fit in, you know, reading and listening to podcasts or journaling or meditating or whatever those habits are that I want to continue and be consistent with. I try to incorporate them into like my everyday routine. That way it's easier and I have no excuse to not do it. I can't blame it on not having time. So listening to podcasts is something else that I've really found to enjoy in the last couple of years. I will try and list some of my favorite podcasts on the screen, but this just makes me feel so good, especially when I listen to things that are relevant to my life and things that I want to learn more about. So I think that wraps up this video. I hope you guys found these tips, tricks, tools, whatever you want to call it, helpful. If you guys want to share some down below that you do that I didn't cover, please do. I love learning from you. I love learning what other people are doing and seeing if that'll help me and if I can incorporate it into my everyday life and it'll help solve an issue that I might have. So please comment down below. And also it's really helpful for our amazing community here on YouTube. You never know what you might do that you might, you know, not find significant, or you might think everybody already knows, but they don't. So comment down below what you do, any tips you want to share with the rest of us. I will definitely be going through all my comments. And I love you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe and join our family so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And I will see you soon. Love you.